Alright, howdy there everyone, this is Arceus back with another stream of Assassin's Creed Origins where everything is still garbage, but we're finishing up this garbage so that we can move on to other, hopefully less garbagey garbage next time. And by next time, I mean who really knows. Because this game, if anything, has proven that it is an endless pool of useless things to do. That said, we're sitting around 83% completion-ish. Completion-ishness. We're sitting around 80% completion. Yeah, I don't know why I was trying to extend that word. And on sessions that we've actually dedicated our time to actually clearing stuff, we've actually been able to clear a good portion, around 10 to 15% each time, if we're just doing main quests. So I'm not. Did this quest just get upgraded to level 23? Maybe they're rotating them to level 23 now. What? Why do I have... Who knows? All I know is all this is garbage until all of a sudden I needed to use lipos for some reason. Okay, so we're doing this quest. I think there's the daily. There we go. Okay, I think another side quest showed up. I just want to make sure of that, didn't it? Yeah, one more side quest showed up, but we don't care about that. Oh, two more showed up. Well, we don't care about that. Because we're desperately trying to finish up the main quest today. So we got this super cool outfit from defeating Anubis for the second time. The first time we got a sword, which we're also using because it's apparently slightly better than a normal sword. Our last previous sword. Our Final Fantasy 15 sword, for some reason. Okay, what were we doing? What's her face? Cleopatra had kind of betrayed us, but not really, and everyone saw it coming. Where she's like, no, I don't want you to kill this guy who may or may not have killed your son, because let's be honest, we spent this entire game trying to figure out who murdered our son, and all I've gotten is like, there was a bunch of people who like kind of maybe did it, and literally we spent the entire game not figuring out anything further.
Destroy Cleopatra for what she has done.
We must focus on the issue at hand.
What is left, Bayek? Tell me one thing left for us.
Siwa. The rest of our land. We cannot stop now, Aya. We have yet to find Hemu's killer.
Yes. We will not falter there.
Guards, ahead!
Another pile of bodies will prove our point.
This is such a weird reversal.
It has been too long since we were together for longer than a few days.
Has it? It seems but moments.
Aya, it is not easy, this path we walk.
Only if you look at it as days and not goals, Bayek. Come, we must hurry.
Like, there's this whole thing where...
We must be careful now.
There are guards here.
There's something amiss with all this. Something foul.
These are all Romans. Caesar's men.
Gosh dang it. Like, it started off with you being obsessed with vengeance and I kind of being the voice of long-termness, and then there's this switch to Io just wanting to get revenge on Alexander or on Cleopatra, and you being the voice of reason, like, no, we have the long-term goal of avenging our son's killers.
We must be careful not to be seen.
You think you can help me with that?
Apollodorus.
We must move quickly.
Shouldn't have come here.
At least
Someone we can kill.
Gosh dang it.
Someone we can kill.
Stop complaining. You will live, fool.
Flavius was behind it all. I'm sorry. Flavius killed your son. They were here. They took the orb from me. They've gone to Siwa.
Siwa.
Bayek, Aya. Your people are in danger. God, now!
And thus I, as Anubis, escorted him into death.
Fare thee well, Apollodorus. To the house of Hades.
Ooh, who was Flavius? Was he the... Seriously, who was Flavius? Was he... Because he doesn't look old enough to be the guy who was actually marrying Cleopatra. Or was... And he's not the guy who was the other one that we didn't kill, the... what was it called? Who was the other one we didn't kill? There's one guy who switched over. I can't remember. Again, you don't spend any time with these characters.
The animals too.
Some sort of plague has hit the village.
That viper Flavius did this.
We should have ripped out his entrails long before now. Let us get to the boat.
Okay, the proconsul of the province of Cyrenaica. I don't know. I don't remember who that is. It's just the most...
Roman soldiers.
Must be Flavius's men. Whoa.
This auto-targeting is so weird. Like, in combat it kind of just works. But it's just... This is one of the problems with Assassin's Creed. It pretends that you're going to be playing all these quests back to back, and so you'll get a good sense of who everyone is, but you don't spend enough time with the characters to know who they are. You just don't.
It was Flavius all along. He brought Caesar and the Romans here, hoping to take complete power.
We trusted him. We were fools.
Did we trust him? I can't remember interacting with him at all. I think there was an entrance on the other side. But again, this is going by off of having cleared this area forever ago. I think I might just be imagining a different place. And it is just in the middle, so I'll probably have to just climb through any... But I feel like there is a cave entrance down over here. Let's try over there. Who knows? Yeah, like one of the Assassin's Creed problems with Assassin's Creed, just in general, is because you're distracted by so many other objectives, you
Rabia,
can't...
what happened here?
Bayek. Quickly. Hepzibah, the vault.
Rabia, we will come back to you when we can.
Ego Ascend Archivitolor! Get them!
Yeah, that is the way I want to go. Yeah, they're really bad at making major characters memorable unless you're literally just driving straight through the main quest. I think there's an entrance to the left here. And needless to say, their camera angles are excellent. Just look at these great camera angles.
Bayek, there's trouble ahead.
For some reason, I can't move.
Look, the boats.
They are frightened of the opening door.
They're running! Careful. We don't know what's in there.
We must find out what happened.
Bayek, are we dreaming?
We have entered the Duat.
Who could imagine such a land as this?
No man should approach them.
Do.
Who created this? The gods themselves. Here's the story of mankind. Bayek. Bayek.
It is Hepzibah. Her life is done here in the desert dust. They took my closest friend.
We must rush to stop Flavius.
No! We cannot leave him here. He deserves a proper farewell.
Okay, so now Bayek, the guy who was literally consumed by trying to avenge his son, or
I'm with you.
Hepzibah knew nothing of the order. There was no cause for him to be killed. Flavius ripped out his heart as a message to me. It was he who killed Khemu.
My husband. We will end this.
like this isn't like a good communication of a character arc.
Bayek.
It just isn't.
I saw what happened. It was horrible. The Roman leaders entered the temple vault.
Septimius and Flavius.
The objects they carried opened it as if by a god's hand. Hepzibah tried to stop them, but they rendered him helpless.
Okay, so
They entered the vault. A blue fire seemed to emerge. I fled to no avail. The entire village lost its reason and fell to the ground like dogs.
They have destroyed Siwa!
He must die!
You must put an end to this!
Bayek, Aya. You have the prayers of the entire village to support you.
Let us bring Hepzibah to his rest. Then, we will seek justice.
literally have we met Flavius before? 'Cause it seems like
Let the embalmers come. We pray Anubis accept this ornament in place of his heart,
such that Hepzibah may walk free in the field of reeds.
Hepzibah, old friend. I miss our talks, Hepzibah. And drinking beer.
Yeah, that character I interacted with like twice, like 50 hours ago.
Hepzibah would have wanted you to have this. The weapon he prized above all others.
I am honored.
Ooh, a level 32 sword. How intense.
Animals. Using the necropolis as a den. No wonder it looks like this.
I wonder how she got those cobwebs without doing anything to them.
Some villagers captured a Roman soldier and questioned him. Flavius is headed for Cyrene, and Septimius for Alexandria.
I will kill Flavius.
There's a farm at the border of Cyrene. Someone there may have seen Flavius pass through. As for me, I will cut out the heart of Septimius.
I feel as though wherever we go, tragedy follows. Perhaps we should come to terms.
It is hard. I don't want to let go, but
Every time I think of you, I think of Hemu, and everything we lost.
me too. So for now, we kill.
Farewell, Aya.
Like, it would be one thing if over the course of the game, like, Bayek seeing the suffering of, like, everyone gradually shifted him from being about, like, vengeance to being like, okay, wait, there are people who do need my help more than, like, my dead son who blatantly doesn't. Like, maybe I should, like, you know, there are more important things. But it isn't. It wasn't done as a gradual thing. It's just like all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, I literally only care about avenging my son and, like, murdering his killers. That's the only thing I care about. And all of a sudden, it's like, you know what? Maybe there's more important things. Like, maybe. And I get that maybe, like, Siwa being in danger might have been that. But then that side quest about Siwa being in danger was a terrible idea. Oh god, sorry. That said, I'm just gonna kill that mini boss that boss that you already fought, so that you don't have to fight him a second time, I guess is appreciated. But the whole, like, hey, you know what? He's going to Cyrene. Try going to this one random farm that maybe he was near at some point and maybe someone saw. That seems stupid. Okay, I actually want to... Like, is there... a chronicle? Like, is there... No, that's the character menu. No. Okay. Because in other games there were, like, records of, like, all the stuff there, you know, documentation. And so I feel like, have we interacted with Flavius before? Because he's definitely not Julius Caesar, the guy who was marrying Cleopatra. When were we interacting with Flavius? Was he a guy in Cyrene when we were in Cyrene? But then how would both Aya and Bayek know him?
Worship him! Worship him! Mars incarnate!
Flavius has taken their wits. This is not good or natural. Will they dance till their feet bleed?
Stop, Mereruka! I beg you!
your enemy.
Giant Anubis man.
I am sorry. It is just... He was such a gentle soul. Once had me treat a wounded dog he had caught in a snare. Why would he do this?
I have seen this before, in Siwa. I'm looking for the Soul Eater responsible, Flavius.
The proconsul?
That sack of rancid god shit murdered my son, raised my village, and now marches through your land with the light of Amun-Ra. Come. Let us search the farm. Look for survivors. I'm by Kusiwa.
Praxila, of this land gone mad. Why would Flavius...
Okay, I'm actually gonna really quickly change my gear because the echo added to his voice during this makes it a little bit harder to understand, and theoretically in the future.
Poor Siwan farmers.
They stood in his path.
Theoretically, some of the future might actually want to hear the actual dialogue.
There are still soldiers here.
Then we must be careful.
Round up anyone left alive.
Nanette, are you all right? What happened here?
Red cloaks and that milk soup with the lion's head. Took anyone who could work. Farm hands, my son Kade, everyone. Then he came. Dark eyes hooded as a raven. I wanted to throw stones to shoo him off. Something golden, bright in his claws. Held it up, crowing as they fell before him. Some by their own hands, others by those dearest to them. Against nature, everyone crying, screaming, running, dying.
How did you
No one sees poor Ninette, an old woman's husk with clouded eyes. But I saw them. Didn't cry out. Bit my tongue till I choked on the blood.
The men who did this? We will find them.
Better hurry, girl. Raven flew north to the home of the huntress. Overheard Red Cloaks squawking. Bring Kade back to me.
I will try. Flavius also robbed me of my boy.
Oh no, the
Let
guard.
us bring Nanette to my cart. Will you follow Flavius?
I must.
Gosh dang it, guys. You stupid buffoons. I did such a good job of hiding, guys, and you ruined everything.
For your son,
For every son.
you must miss him very much.
All my waking and sleeping hours.
You will see him again in the field of reeds.
I hope so. Nennet spoke of the home of the Huntress.
Yes, Cyrene, the shining porticos of Roman conquest. It is north of here.
If Flavius is there, I will find him and destroy every fiber of his car.
Finish off the quest.
When you arrive in Cyrene, look for my friend Diocles. I would trust him with my life and yours. As a magistrate, he hears petitioners in the Agora. Give him this.
I hope this heals the madness in this land.
That's a
I
ring
pray
bigger
you get
than
the justice you seek.
any sort of reason.
Why would they take Nenet's son, Kade?
The Citadel casts a long shadow over Cyrenaica. There are rumors that General Agrippa and Flavius are preparing for war.
Against Egypt?
Do you doubt their ambition?
No. They won't stop until I stop them.
I will bring Nenet to my clinic in Balagrey, south of the Temple of Asclepius. Though that place has troubles enough.
I will find you if I can.
Cool. And seeing as I'm apparently forced to use light bows, sure. Yeah, okay, we might have one more side quest thing at the end of this. Like, I'm seriously not sure if we have ever been introduced to Flavius before. Which I find super annoying. Seeing as I pretty much played this entire plot back to back to back. And because this isn't an actual assassination Assassin's Creed game, I am almost guaranteed to not be able to actually, like, sneak and assassinate him, so there's pretty much no point to sneaking at all. Okay, and these aren't even, like, this isn't even him, this is just some friend I'm supposed to talk to.
Came back from Balagre with a crook up his arse. Demanded my taxes for the year. They burned my farm when I refused.
And you are sure it was Leander's men?
My wife said no good would come of defying him. I hate it when she's right.
Leander will pay. You have my word.
Your word, Diocles? Will that sow my scorched fields? Bring my goats back to life? I am done with you. End this land. Your word. Pah.
And how has our most venerated magistrate extorted you, Egyptian?
Praxilla said you could help me. I am Bayek.
Look, another side quest.
Is he alright?
As well as anyone can be with Flavius desecrating your land. I followed that fucker's murderous trail all the way from Siwa.
So the rumors?
True. As are his preparations for war.
One more oppressor. Egypt will never be stable again. Invasions upon invasions. Flavius will make of Egypt one giant tomb. He rules from the Acropolis, but it's crawling with Romans. I pray the dice fall in your favor, Bayek. I must deal with his lapdog, the magistrate Leander. Seek me out again, if you would be a friend to Cyrene.
Thank you. Just order of ancients propaganda. Flavius has turned you into the enemies of freedom.
Sons of Prometheus.
What was that? What, like, really, what was that? Oh, look, another side quest.
Our only desire is that the world be as it is. A place of order, symmetry.
See, the thing that frustrates me the most is that all of these seem to be tied to one of those things that like all of these latest side quests seem to be tied to actual like main quest stuff. For example, the Romans being jerks, which makes me kind of worried that they, again, because of the structure of the game, I kind of doubt that they would time out when you actually beat Flavius, but it makes it seem like it could be, which puts on my, maybe I should go and make sure all the side quests are done before doing the main quest thing. Oh, this stupid building.
This area is off limits.
I literally remember clearing this area and thinking it weird that there was all this stuff in the, like, there's this big building and nothing.
Good to see our Roman gods outside of Rome.
And nothing like in it.
Flavius scares the shit from my bowels.
Is he on the outside? Or is he underneath? No, he's inside. Okay. So if I go up here, I should still be hidden. I parkour over. Which puts me in a cutscene, because why would actual assassinations be a thing in this game?
Do you think I can't feel you skulking in the shadows, Bayek of Siwa?
I have followed your path of murder and madness all the way from my homeland. And now, you will answer for my son's death, Roman!
No. Egyptian. Now you will bow before your god!
My son! My friends!
Okay, so if these are tricks, there has to be some indication where he actually is. Oh, he's one of the three. There's going to be some indication of which one he is.
Why did you kill me when you had the chance in Alexandria?
You should have joined the Order. You need us. But you chose slavery.
The man who killed my son, cowering in another temple.
Your Magi friend Hepzibah also had a stubborn streak, like your son.
Your time on this sand has ended.
Your mind will break eventually, just like all the others. My power, my potential.
Why is it such a bow-heavy fight?
Enough! Face me!
That wasn't an assassination. Don't pretend that it was.
He was a child, Flavius. My child!
That's the one thing I do not regret in my life.
I will never give you peace.
Your son's death made the Order bow to me! Caesar, even. I had Rome. It gave me an empire of 1,000 sons, each one greater than the last. Come on! Finish me! You coward! The waste of time!
I can't do it. I can't do it!
Can't do what? Kill him?
No. I will lose you forever.
Not forever. I will be waiting for you in the field of reeds.
Like, if this character arc was built up to it all, it would make sense, but it wasn't. It's just all of a sudden Bayek is all like, yeah, maybe it's a bad idea.
This relic should never be found again. Aya must know our son's car has been put to rest.
And presumably she's killed the jackal. Like, what's the emotional arc for this end? Is this just the denouement? And I say that with friend actions because I feel really douchey. That's what I do. But, like, is this just the end? Like, there was no big villain, guys. It was just like, hey, kill these people you found out about 5 minutes ago. Because they were bad.
Bayek. It has been too long.
Flavius is dead. I have gone through shit to get our son out of the Duat. Khemu is at peace.
May he walk in the field of reeds. I head to Rome too.
Rome? You still entertain folly with these ambitions?
I have made mistakes. You have made mistakes.
Aya?
You waste your energy.
Ah. You are the famous Magi. Thanos never ceases to speak of your exploits.
I have assembled a group. This is Brutus and Cassius, our Roman brothers.
We're going to cut these bastards down from across the seas. Septimius and Caesar.
The Order is no longer an Egyptian problem only.
Does Cleopatra still rule?
There is no ruler in Egypt, plunged into the will of various tyrants.
Our queen has abandoned us for Rome. Nothing has changed. Memphis is overrun by the Order. Aya, we need you.
Like, we're at like the end of the game, guys. This entire thing just feels so pointless.
I cannot end it like this. Aya, that cursed marked sphere should stay hidden forever. Caused so much pain.
like, getting over his son's death was such a weird arc too, because like he didn't. It's not as if he did the route of vengeance and then, like, as he got close to the end, realized that, you know, vengeance wouldn't bring his son back, and that, you know, he's never actually going to be able to fill this hole in his life that was left by his son. But instead, it was just this build up to no payoff where you do kill all the guys, and at the last one you're like, oh yeah, I guess it won't bring him back. I guess, like, me trying to kill these guys is the only thing connecting me to my son anymore. So, like, maybe I won't kill this last guy, which in itself is dumb. Because, like, there isn't really anything connecting to his son anymore. Like, one random guy who killed him existing doesn't connect you to your son. And it wasn't even built up to. It's just like, oh yeah, maybe this is a character arc. Oh. And then so it ends, and it's just like, oh, okay. It's over. Cool. Your marriage dissolved. But it was never really, but it wasn't, your marriage, other than, like, occasional good sex, wasn't a thing at the beginning of this. It's like, oh man, I used to have this ex, effectively wife I'm separated from, who we used to be on good terms and then have sex, and now we're still vaguely on good terms and we don't have sex. What an arc.
Victories have multiplied, our bond not so.
We could never have been. Everything has told us our love is impossible.
You are right. Something bigger has called us. But our love lives in the Duat.
Only now we are letting go.
Let the gods decide.
The gods are dead.
We must sacrifice our personal lives for the greater good. All this darkness was for a reason.
I was wrong to be so reckless in public without killing. We must work in the shadows.
Egypt has fallen. Greece also.
I like how that skull is clearly important because they had to animate it on top to make sure it was there.
All will fall to the creed, yet no one will know.
When we assassinate only those who deserve it. The few sick souls who try to control us. But they will never know who we are. Cold, calculated, poets of the kill.
I am fine with this. I am not a father anymore. I am not a husband. I am not a Magi. I am a hidden one.
Yes. We are the hidden ones.
We sharpen our blades. Pull what hope is left from this foul earth.
What are you of now?
A new creed. Ours is finished.
This is so dumb. Like, they've officially established in this narrative that the start of the Assassins was, hey, remember that time?
I should have listened to you. Oh, Habibti.
Those don't need to be your last words.
Who the fuck are you? Ugh.
Does the name William Miles ring a bell?
Assassin?
Then you know who I am. We, the Assassins, have been watching you. It's Unusual for an Abstergo employee to take an interest in a country's revolution.
You're not wrong there.
We know about your work with the Animus. Astounding what you and Deanna were up to. They played you, didn't they? Sophia Ricken made you so many promises.
Enough! We're not talking about her.
Sure. Plenty of other subjects to cover on our ride to Alexandria.
Don't assume I'm going anywhere with you.
Well, let's look at your options. You can come with me, or you can stay here and do the dance of death again and again until you make a mistake. They only need you to make one. There's no going back to your old life, Layla.
I never planned to.
But you'd finally be able to work on the Animus project. Our version of it. And with us, you'd always have the freedom to do things your way.
Fine. Let's do this. That doesn't mean I'm on your side.
Good enough.
Okay.
Stay away from my laptop.
I should, shouldn't I? It's a terrible invasion of privacy. Just think of it as me reliving your memories.
Bayek's a corpse. I'm alive.
You're right, and I apologize.
Best way to avoid this jerk is to get back in the Animus.
Is this the end of the game? Like, I'm torn because the meta plot was like interesting enough in the sense of it wasn't stereotypical, but simultaneously wasn't interesting.
Phoxidas, a gift.
No. It's a relic. I don't want to talk about it, Damastis.
Isn't that Bayek's? Let me have it. I'll give it to Phoxidas myself. He loves these things.
I'll kill you. How about that? I'm in no mood for compromise today.
We passed Neapolis in the crack of morning. A strong wind, you'll be standing in Rome's Forum in 2 days' time. It's over between you and Bayek, eh? I can feel... No decision is easy. You are a chosen one. And now you are free! Like me!
So begins a new day.
Again, it's not even like the narrative is strictly bad. It's just nothing. It's just like, okay.
Let's go! Galley speed! Pick up the pace!
Why are we having a naval combat? Is the game over?
Roman fleet up ahead. Do you see?
I really don't.
Not entirely. We should assume they are expecting us.
You sound thrilled about it.
Eager, old man. Eager to be done with this scum. And move on to the next pile of scum.
Infinite scum. Such is the world we live in.
Seriously, where's this Roman fleet? Is that over there?
We have been spotted!
Those flares will summon their navy.
Prepare yourselves!
Enter the sea with their shattered hulls.
Strikers! Ah, la, 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 la! Ah, the songs they will sing about us when this day is out.
If that happens, Foxidas, I will wear seaweed like a siren and sing them myself.
I will hold you to that.
Believe me, you would be sorry. Now let's end this.
Galley speed, let's go! Another down! There is only one more left for the abyss! Yes! E2! Galley speed! They set fighter ships upon us!
Gods. Our fleet is too tightly formed. They'll hit us.
We are overwhelmed! These hell ships are too many!
We must sink them before they reach us. They'll doom us if they strike us. Take them down!
Fire ships front! Take a piece of that! Now! More fire ships close! By the gods, they're everywhere! Look out! Now! Hey! They got us! Now! Hey! Fire ships left! Let's play them back, Philip! Now! Hey! Now! They got us! Now! Fire ships left! Now! Hey! Down, down, me! Team! Galley speed! Now! On the way! Ready! Now! Let's go! Just say the word! Give them hell on the face! Up tempo! Poseidon, help us! It's an armada!
Do we have the firepower to deal with this?
I can't see how! With our fleet dispersed and our allies gone, we're undone!
Man up, you old salt lick! Save your bloody ship!
Another fleet there! Lost! Jove's pissing on our heads from the peak of Olympus!
No, no! It's Brutus and Cassius! Look!
And our catapults with them! Put them to use! Please! Hey! Don't fear this beast! She's a great and thirsty whale, but will dance around her boat like minnows in a pond!
You weren't a poet in your youth, were you, Foxidas?
Oh, I should have been, I think. A philosopher too. Ah, what we should have been. A million things, had I.
You must write your memoirs one day.
I may just do. And if you'll promise to sneak one copy into the library, I'll let you live on. Surely this chapter will be the most widely read of all. Aiming! Give them hell on the fan! Now! Adolf! Ready! Look out! Take a piece of that! Ready! Give them hell on a fast! Take a piece of that! No! Take a piece of that! No!
This is gonna be bad.
Take a piece of that! No!
Oh my gosh. Like, they can't make this shit naval combat hard because they don't do it enough for you to get good at it.
Down, you demons and jealousy! Hey, you slackers! Form up with the rest! Today, we sail together!
What port are you taking us to?
There's a town called Antium I'd like to try. Lots of merchants sail in and out of there. Should be safe for you. From there, it's a half-day ride to Rome.
It is only a matter of days before Caesar will officially become a tyrant.
There he is. The people love you, Caesar. You're a god.
The Senate will not bow so easily.
A parliament of clucking heads. Let me be your wolf.
Go. Do nothing until I give the signal.
And like the setup here is this super weird thing where the assassins formed because, and again, remember that we decided we are going to strike from the shadows, so this entire thing is nonsensical. Okay, so we are going to have to fight this boss again.
So Caesar is the king of the Order now.
Caesar is the father of understanding.
You and Caesar will die.
You are meddling with the affairs of the Order. The Order is greater than Rome. Go back to Egypt with the rest of the tribe slaves.
You make me understand why murder is just.
I command armies. I control greatness.
I will erase your order from the annals.
Kneel to Caesar. Kneel to Rome. Feels good to side with winners. History.
Caesar will follow you to oblivion.
Your son pissed himself when he saw the knife.
I will eat your heart.
I love these things that
You have no honor. You stole everything from me.
I love these things that set up so it's super so it's super unclear where the dodge windows are. I'm so happy when they do that.
Flavius isn't here to save you, Septimius. No Roman deals will be made.
Yay. Again, these are not assassinations.
Damn you, Lupa.
My son's heart. For your life.
Was revenge everything you hoped? You and the Magi shall drench the sheets with your sweat tonight.
This stuff.
With the Order, I served them and your beloved Egypt. And I'll be rewarded in the afterlife. And
eternity of drinking and whoring with my brothers.
The only thing that waits for you is oblivion. For your name, your order, and the rotten corpses of your Gabignani. Up and devour your fetid heart.
Okay, see, there's this super weird thing.
Caesar must be in the Curia, with the rest of the Senate.
Where they've officially implied that the start of the Assassins was, hey, remember that time when we assassinated a bunch of key people who were screwing everything up? We made everything a billion times worse. Let's do that forever.
This place is crawling with soldiers.
And of course I can't use Senu because why? Okay, here's the thing. I've heard vaguely people complain about how you play Aya for the tail end of this game, and I get that. Like, I get that being annoyed by that, but the thing that gets me is Senu, because I can see them wanting to use Aya because you can't account for people being weird levels, like, or people who just did the main plot and are relatively low leveled versus people who, again, you'd have to be like at least level 32 to kind of do this stuff. Oh my god, she's not using a hunter bow, and I can't change her equipment. And she can't take out those people in single hits. Oh my gosh. Okay, can I climb the outsides of buildings, or do I literally need to sneak straight through this thing now that I've alerted one of the guards? Okay, so if I jump there, I can swim across and then climb up. But I'm not sure if that gets me anywhere I want to be. So I can see them wanting to use Aya because it's more like an even experience for all players and it's easier to program. What I find frustrating is getting rid of Senu, which like is a blatant mechanic that has existed for the entirety of the game. And like you can't possibly have gone through this game without using Senu. Oh gosh dang it! Nope, there's a guard there. Super fun. What a great game, guys. And I get it, you're somehow being Brutus or something.
I ask only this, that you join with me in building a new Rome.
A Rome with you as king? Let Caesar speak!
You too, my child.
Right in the nuts.
The tyrant is dead, you are free now!
Like, he said that at normal speed, but his animation implied it was slow motion, which was weird.
Do I know you? You who strikes from the shadows.
The same fate will come to all despots.
In the end, it is impossible not to become what others believe you are. And I was a god!
There is a new creed now.
Yeah! Rome is eternal!
She will never fall to you or your kind.
Freedom is not given, Caesar. It is taken. Requiescat in pace, Caesar.
Like, this is a better end. It still isn't narratively tied to anything.
Do you know what you've done? Caesarion would have sat on the throne of Rome.
Listen to the cries in the streets. They call you a dead tyrant's whore.
I am still your queen.
You are a queen of liars and snakes. I fought for you for 5 years. Our people worshipped you. Apollodorus died for you, for Egypt.
For Egypt? I am Egypt!
Then be the ruler our people deserve. Or nothing will save you from my blade across your throat. You are the last of the pharaohs.
Cool, let's intimidate our rulers into being the best they should be. It's just nothing. Like, The only thing his desires that motivated Bayek and Aya were avenging their son. And the entire narrative is so loosely tied to that.
Caesar has been assassinated. Septimius is also dead. I have founded a bureau in the middle of Rome. Yet, no one knows of our existence. Like Amun, we are the Hidden Ones.
I believe in you.
The irony of freedom. We are free of each other, yet it brings me no happiness. We must move forward. Remain in our tempest of blood poetry. Despite it all, we dance, and they die. From darkness we have come, and in darkness we shall stay. Humans are not meant to last forever. But this creed will. The creed is the only immortal thing in the world.
Go home. You're free.
I don't want to go home by myself. I'm scared.
Should we take him to the Bureau?
No. I'll take you home.
Let nothing grieve you beyond measure, for your life is short and time will claim its toll. But I am no longer who I was. I have renounced all love I once had.
And what was the problem with Aya's and
I
Bayek's?
have renounced Aya. I have killed Aya. I am now the Hidden One, known as Amunet.
Like, what was the problem with Aya and Bayek's relationship? They didn't communicate that well.
May your victories multiply.
Like, okay. Aya's motivation was, yeah, I want revenge for my son, but also we need to bring political stability to Egypt. And so she teams up with Cleopatra, whereas Bayek is like, you know what, I don't care about political stuff, I just want vengeance for our son. Cool. Great. And so that's what their conflict is.
Papa? Jump.
Cool. Cool, so that's the end of that. Yeah, so I'll probably do one more session just to clean up the remaining side quests, but it's already been like an hour and 13 minutes, so I don't want to tag that on because I don't want to particularly do a super long session tonight. So yeah, probably one more to clean up like the handful of side quests. I don't want to do the arena. If all three of these side quests take like 10 minutes, I'd probably fill out the rest of the session with arena run. But honestly, I don't really care. Yeah, so there's no credits to talk over, so final... Okay, there's also a couple red quests that have unlocked, so I guess, okay, that next session might not be completely void of anything. So there's no credits to talk over. Generally, I use the credits to kind of talk over an analysis of a game, but... Okay. Yeah, so we'll have enough quests for enough quests for one more session, which I'll do probably. I'll try and get done tomorrow or the next night. So end thoughts. Not a good game, not a bad game, just... Okay, unique items, great. Let's check out what that nonsense is. So yeah, not a good game, not a bad game, just a game. In terms of like stuff to do,
Blessings on you, Bayek.
okay. So, yeah, you can pretty much buy golden stuff if you haven't gotten it already. Can you just buy all this stuff? Cool. So theoretically, we could take down... Like, I've already done this stuff. Is this just a list of stuff you can do? Whatever. Okay, so summary thoughts on this game. Not a good game, not a game, bad game, just a game. Pretty much, like, the main plot is okay. I feel like the main narrative is relatively weak. There's just nothing special. Like, they introduce characters and then you have to kill them 5 minutes later, and they never really develop. They have their speeches like a la Assassin's Creed, the first one, where they have an end speech where like, oh, I was so justified the entire time, except for like they're not. They either don't explain enough or just like aren't. It's like, oh, like you'll always end up being what they called you, a god. And it's like, okay, cool, bro, you're still a douche. The side content wasn't fulfilling. It was there, and if you really like the Assassin's Creed mechanic, then it's there, but it's not particularly entertaining. The combat system is really rough. They've opted to go away from the standard Assassin's Creed combat system, which is very just not button mashy, but just pretty much wait for a counter. And again, I didn't play Unity or Syndicate, so I can't judge how it's jumped in the last 3 games, but going off of 3 and 4, it used to be much more just counter based. Like, you just defend and wait for opportune moments to counter and then counter with like the Y button generally. And they've gone away from that for a more Dark Souls style of combat, which is fine, but their dodge and attack options are just way too limited, so the combat just comes off as really repetitive and doesn't feel skillful. It feels more about luck. They really need a cleaner dodge mechanic that either allows you to dodge away and then close the gap in the time that they're recovering from the enemies are recovering from their attacks, or a circular dodge that actually lets you dodge around someone so that you're behind someone by the time that they finish their attack animation and they're resetting. Because without those, it's just you dodge and you end up, because you can only linearly dodge in a direction, you're as far away from them after you've avoided their attacks, and then you spend your time trying to close the distance so you can attack, and they've already recovered. They have a problem with their boss fights where they want to set up these enemies, like in Dark Souls, where they have set attack patterns. Again, I haven't played that much Dark Souls, so forgive me if I'm incorrect. They want to set up clear attack patterns so they can figure them out and then fight around them, but it doesn't exist. Like, that's just not a thing. The attack patterns aren't clear enough or distinct enough so that you know where their hit locations are, where their hitboxes are. So, like, with that chain guy, he just, like, swings his chain around, and it's like, am I supposed to dodge back? Then I'm going to be out of range. I'm not going to be able to attack him with a follow-up. Am I supposed to, like, do I have iframes or whatever they're called that you're unhittable during? Your combat system isn't clear enough for me to have figured that out over the course of the game. So I got a little bit better at it at the end, I think, but I don't know. The different weapon types are nice because it allows you to fight with different styles, but again, the core combat mechanics just aren't refined. You don't feel very assassin-y because so many of the missions are just fighting. And there's just so many quests that are just to go and talk to this guy. Okay, walk with this guy while he exposits at your face. Okay, move on to the next guy. Okay, talk to this guy and walk with him and escort him while he exposits at your face. Which just isn't entertaining. And again, nothing about it is horrible. It's just not particularly good. it's like certain of the Assassin's Creeds, they had, I think it peaked during the 2 series, namely the first and third one. I think the middle one had like, was that the one where you were in Istanbul or just Turkey, or Constantinople? I can't remember. I can't remember what it was at that timeline. But yeah, that core narrative felt a little weak. But overall, like, your character had motivation and grew. This one, like, what the character arc was so weird. Like, the character arcs were just told to you in the last, like, 2 missions. It was like, oh yeah, Bayek and I have grown apart. Why? Oh, well, they haven't been having sex as much as they were shown in the first, like, few missions, so I guess they're different people now. Like, I was always more politically minded. Bayek was, like, didn't want to get involved in politics. And then Aya was like, oh yeah, we did screw everything up. Better commit to doing the similar things that we've been doing. We'll say that we'll do it more from the shadows, but then all super overtly kill people just blatantly. I don't like the level up system, and again, for me, the unlocking the map just as you level didn't work for me, but that's because that's how I play. It would have been fine if you were a different person who didn't play completionist stuff. Yeah, not good, not bad, just content. It's comparable to Borderlands 2, where, like, it's fine. If it was like a 10 to 20 hour game, like, sure, go for it. But it stretches it to like 60 hours. I think I've been playing for, let's see, this is like episode like 22 of like 2 hour average, like 2-ish hour streams. So it's like 44 hours, and they've been on the long side too, so probably closer to 50 hours. But like a game that has enough entertaining content to be like 10 to 20 hours and stretching it to 50 hours doesn't make it good. It doesn't make like a good 50 hours. It just makes it like, oh, okay, why did you stretch this to 50 hours? Yeah. Alright, that's that. I'm going to play one more cleanup game, which will probably be over the next couple of days, because I don't want it to be my next main stream, and then next time I'll be playing, and then next Monday, hopefully, I'll be playing something else. I'm not sure what as of yet. I have some friends trying to persuade me to play PUBG, but we will see. Because I definitely like the idea of keeping one ongoing, like, narrative linear game, so I feel like I'm completing something. But I also definitely don't want to jump in as a long a game as this turned out to be. So, again, if anyone watches this and has suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm probably going to jump into something that's, for some reason, Apotheon and the Resident Evil series are on my mind. But I'll let you know later. Thank you for joining me. But for now, this is Archaeus signing off. I hope you guys had a nice night. Hopefully I can get a good night's sleep. See you guys later.